Welcome to Battle Truth and my point of view. Oh, no, you. So I'm not a hater. I could only give you the facts that's written on these papers. And since we have no dealings, therefore the court can care less about your feelings. I'm the Honorable MallikiBaker, your presiding judge, chairman and spokesperson for the One United Front. You are my witnesses and jury. You may be seated. Court is now in session. Let's talk about it. Okay, man. Condolences to the family of Charlie Kirk and all his supporters that continue to keep his dream and vision alive and standing for the truth and the love of God in Christ. Now, with that being said, there are so many lies going around on the internet. So many people are making money off this man's name, legacy, and everything he stood for, and making a mockery out of his death to bring shame to his family, his children, his supporters, and what he stood for. A lot of people. Candace Owens is one of them, a wicked, evil, lying, whoremongering, money-hungry woman. Okay, let's just keep it real. That's what's going on here. Along with other people who's using conspiracy theories to manipulate and deceive the people because they could just put some video up a shock value with a drawing title to it to make people run to it, to only be deceived by their commentary and images that they put together to twist the truth of what actually really happened. But here on Battle Truth, we get right down to the truth. And this is exactly what I'm going to do. We're going to expose each and every last one of their lies. The indictment papers is out for everybody to go see with their own eyes. There go the case number. You can actually go to Google and type up Charlie Kirk's indictment. Charlie Kirk's indictment. And you will get this also. It's free for everybody. Okay? Type that up, Charlie Kirk's indictment, or Tyler Robinson indictment. Either way, this is going to pop up. And it is the certified documentation of the exact thing that happened. So we're going to expose every lie. And this is so clear, you can't even get around it. In fact, I want y'all to see this so well, right? I'm just going to put me in this little box down here because it's not about me. It's about the truth. So I'm going to put myself in this little box down here so that y'all can read this paper, right? We're going to break down every lie. Every lie. Now, here's the thing. Some people are saying, Tyler ain't the shooter. Tyler didn't do this. We're going to break down every lie. But before we break down that, let's get to the motive. Let's get to the real reason why Charlie Kirk was killed. Because the indictment paper literally covers that and exposes that. And it's not being addressed at all by no one. But welcome to Battle Truth. I'm going to address it. I'm going to show y'all. Now, there's a lot that's going on in this paperwork, and so I won't cloud y'all judgment on things, and we can get right to the nitty-gritty of things, and I don't want y'all to get lost in the translation of covering so much. I got to give this one point at a time. Let's find Tyler Robinson's motive, because this is something that's not being said. And you know what's amazing? Y'all are going to be surprised at what you're about to discover in this documentation and paperwork of the indictment in which he is now being charged and facing capital punishment. Now, I say this to say this. They're making up all type of excuses on the internet. Oh, Israel killed Charlie Kirk. Oh, his team had something to do with it. All these things. Let's go into this documentation. Let's find motive. What really went on and what led to his death. What y'all about to see is very shocking. Watch this. So this is the documentation just to prove to y'all that this is legit and it is real. There go everything right there. You can look it up yourself. But if we go down to page 6, let me show y'all something. See, these are things that nobody could get around. Let me just go to page 6 right here. Okay, right here. No, page 5. Page 6 right here. This is very important. So on page 6, where it says the Washington County investigation. Watch this. On the evening of September 11, 2025, as law enforcement continued their investigation, Tyler James Robinson went to the Washington County Sheriff's Office with his parents and a family friend to turn himself in. That's very clear. So look what happens here, y'all. Tyler Robinson, with his parents, along with his parents and a family friend, all assisted and escorted him to the Washington County Sheriff's Office for him to turn himself in. Now, watch this. Upon that, Robinson's mother gave a statement and testimony of what happened, right? So this was her statement that she gave to the police. Robinson's mother stated the following. Look, the following to who? To the police. This is his mama speaking. His mama is saying this. His mother said on September 11, 2025, the day after the shooting, Robinson's mother saw the photo of the shooter in the news and thought the shooter looked like her son. Yeah, parents know their kids. Pay attention to the things I'm highlighting as I'm explaining it to y'all. Parents know their children. So when she saw that picture of that man, she immediately was drawn to it and recognized, hold on, that's my son. Watch this. Robinson's mother called her son and asked him where he was. And that's the right thing you would do immediately when you're watching something like that and you recognize, hold on, that's my son. You're going to immediately pick up the phone because that's just that defense mechanism, that motherly intuition as a parent that makes you just, you know what I mean, automatically go in defense mode or some form of nurturing. So she called him immediately. Like, hey, where you at? Look what it says. She saw her, called her son, and asked him where he was. Where are you? Because she's seeing what's going on. He said, Tyler, he was at home sick, and he had also been at home sick on September the 10th. That means that when the mama saw the picture, basically asking him about the shooting thing, he's covering himself by saying, I was sick today, which is the 11th, and I was sick on the 10th and at home. Well, we know that that's a lie, right? Because we saw him walking around on the campus in his murdering outfit and the outfit he had on before changing into his killing outfit. Watch this. Robinson's mother expressed concern to her husband that the suspected shooter looked like Robinson. Now, look what happened. The mama ain't even buying what he's saying. You know why? Because her conscience allows her to know that is my son. That's him. And then when she basically like interrogating him to some degree of his whereabouts, she's not satisfied with what he's saying. So what she does is bring it to her husband's attention. So Robinson's mother expressed concern to her husband. This is very important, people. To her husband, that the suspected shooter looked like Robinson. So she needed her husband to confirm what she know, just so she won't be believing she tripping, especially after her son just said, nah, that's not me. I've been sick at home for the past 2 days. Watch this. When Robinson's father agreed, see, parents know their child. So the mama know that that's him. Then the father like, yeah, that's him. Look what happens. This is the mama's statement. All of this is the mama's statement. Robinson's mother explained. See, the mom is still explaining because she the first one to bring this to Tyler's attention and her husband's attention. Robinson's mother explained, watch this, y'all, very important, that over the last year or so, Robinson had become more political and had started to lean more to the left, becoming more pro-gay and trans rights orientated. Very important. So mama is now saying for the last year or so, Robinson had become more political and leaned more to the left, the Democratic Party. In this indoctrination, he becomes more pro-gay and trans rights orientated. In other words, more bolder, more confident in it. Because remember, at the time, he's in a relationship with another man, living together. Watch this. Mama still talking. Mama stated that Robinson began to date his roommate, a biological male who was transitioning genders. Watch. This resulted, very important, y'all, this resulted in several discussions with family members, but especially between, watch this, but especially between Robinson and his father. Very important. Father is shamed and displeased with his son being a homosexual, and rightfully so. This is an embarrassment to his legacy as a father and him as a man. So his father ain't taking it so easy to know that his son is a homosexual and living with another man. Let's read this again. Look what it says. This resulted in several discussions. Now remember, this is the mama giving it to the police. She's telling the family business, but not extensively to the point where it shows how aggressive things actually got. But look what it's saying. With the family members. So a lot of family was against this. But it says, but especially between Robinson and his father. Watch these words. Who have very different political views. See? Who have very different political views. The word very there show the intensity of their views. That's against one another. That's an opposition to one another. So pay attention, y'all. So Robinson, in being more bolder, more confident in homosexuality, he's a strong advocate in the Democratic Party, and his father is a Republican conservative who's against the Democratic Party and homosexual beliefs and abortions. So the thing Tyler is in support of, his father is not. And his father is despised with the idea of his son being a practicing homosexual. Very important. In one conversation before the shooting, Robinson mentioned that Charlie Kirk would be holding an event at UVU, which Robinson said was a stupid venue for the event. Robinson accused Kirk of spreading hate. Okay, look what that said. So this is the mama speaking. This is the mama speaking. That Robinson even explained, so somehow Charlie Kirk came up in the conversation amongst the family. And Robinson actually told them, well, you know, he coming here, and it's a stupid venue to have. Now, his father is a Charlie Kirk supporter. His father is a Charlie Kirk supporter. That's how it says in one conversation before the shooting, Robinson mentioned that Charlie Kirk, before the shooting, Robinson mentioned that Charlie Kirk would be holding an event at UVU. So that came up in the conversation. And Robinson stated in front of his mama and father that is a stupid venue for him to be going at. Watch this. Robinson's father reported that when his wife, now this is the father giving a statement, that when his wife showed him the surveillance image of the suspected shooter in the news, he agreed that it looked like their son. He also believed the rifle the police suspected the shooter used matched the rifle that was given to his son as a gift. Now, look at this. Not only do they believe that the shooter is their son, but when it's showing the rifle that was confiscated as a result of searching the area of the surveillance cameras that they had him on, fleeing the scene and escaping, the father also noticed that that rifle was familiar. So not only do we believe this our son, but this is too coincidental that this rifle also is a rifle we familiar with, because it was given to him as a gift of Tyler's father's father. His grandfather gave him that rifle. Now, look what happens here. So the father see the rifle. Look what it says here. As a result, Robinson's father contacted his son and asked him to send a photo of the rifle. Now, this is the father and them not believing Tyler's statement because they know the feds have the rifle. Tyler is denying that that's him, but the parents is strongly convinced that it is him when Robinson's saying it's not him. So the father says, okay, well, if it's not you and the feds have the rifle, send me a picture of the rifle right now. Send me a picture of it. Watch this. Robinson did not respond. After his father told him that, very important, Robinson did not respond. Watch this. However, Robinson's father spoke on the phone with Robinson. Robinson implied that he planned to take his own life. That right there is showing you that when he didn't respond, then eventually when his father kept calling, he did respond. And his father confronted him. Like, you did it. You did it. And then Robinson, Tyler Robinson now, he began to break down in front of his father and says he's going to take his own life. Remember, people, these are his parents' statement, his mama and daddy. that conceived him and gave birth to him. This is what they're saying about their son. The feds ain't cracking this case. His parents them is doing this. Look what it says. So Robinson implied that he planned to take his own life. Robinson's parents were able to convince him to meet at their home. And as they discussed the situation, there you go, of all the options, Robinson implied that he was the shooter and stated that he couldn't go to jail and he just wanted to end it. Very important. So he confessed to the killing. Now, since he's wanted, the most wanted man in America, he's afraid and he don't want to go to jail. So he wants to end his life to get over it. This is what his parents are saying. This is how the conversations went. Watch this. When asked why he did it, Robinson explained there is too much evil in that guy, Charlie Kirk. He spread too much lies. Now, this was a lie. This was what he's saying to his father so that his father could be supportive of him when the real proof of the matter is he killed Charlie Kirk because he knew his father was a supporter of Charlie Kirk. He knew that he shared in Charlie Kirk's views and politics. He also knew that his father had a problem with him being a homosexual because they would have heated conversations about it. That's what we just read up there. And he know his father supports Charlie Kirk. So in his rebellion towards his father as a result of not accepting his lifestyle, and his father's disdain of him being a homosexual, shaming him as a man and father, this led to Tyler lashing out against his father by killing Charlie Kirk. That's his motive behind why he did it. It ain't that Charlie Kirk is spreading hate, because he's not spreading hate in the Christian society built on biblical principles by which he defended in his politics. It's not spreading hate to speak out against abortion when you murdering children and people who for abortion selfishly have life and trying to deprive somebody else of the life they have. It's not hate speaking against homosexuality by which it causes a nation to fold as a result of sexual transmitted diseases, mental illnesses, and these current shootings that's taking place that actually led to the killing of Charlie Kirk. Even to the point of the question he was being asked right when he was shot. And the question was asked was, what is your views on these mass transgender shootings that is taking place? Only for him to be shot right then and there while that question was being posed by a homosexual who's in a relationship with a transgender, confirming the seriousness and problem with that community by which that question was asked that also led to his death. Now, more proof that Charlie Kirk was killed because of the feud that was going on between Tyler and his father. Now, watch this. The family friend spoke to the police and reported, telling Robinson that it would be best if he brought all evidence with him to the sheriff's office to avoid police having to search his parents' home. The family friend also asked Robinson if he had any clothes that were related to what he did. Robinson replied that he had disposed of the clothes in different areas. There you go. So he disposed of the clothes in different areas. One item right here, one item right there, one item over there, hoping them not to be found. So hold on. So let's look at this. Let's do a quick summary right quick. So we have Tyler's mom watching the news, seeing her son come up on the screen, immediately recognizing that to be her son, calls him on the phone to ask of his whereabouts. Then she questioned him. There's a dude on there that's wanted for the murdering of Charlie Kirk. He looks just like you. Is that you, son? No, that's not me. Where you been? Oh, I've been sick for the past 2 days. Okay. You sure? Then she calls her husband. Look, who do this look like? Husband like, that's Tyler. Do you know that they're saying this is the one who killed Charlie Kirk? Tyler? Then his father called him. Hey, what's going on? Oh, nothing. This man looked just like you. And they got a rifle that I'm pretty sure is what my father gave you. Oh, that's not me, Dad. Okay, then send me a picture of the rifle right away. He don't do it. Dad calling, he not responding. Dad calling, he not responding. I'm gonna show you that too. Then eventually he give in and know he got the call. All the pressure on him now. He the most wanted man in America. He finally pick up the phone and start confessing to his father. Once his father already exposed it and figured it out. When he held him to the fire by saying, okay, send me the picture of the rifle. He couldn't do it because the feds got it, which means you shot that man. That's you on the news. That me and your mama knew was you. Nobody else know who you are but your lover. So me, you, and your mama, we know who our son is. You did this. The feds still trying to figure out who it is. They have no idea. He ain't never been arrested before, so he ain't in a system nowhere. So what happens? He began to confess. I did it. Why you do it? Oh, he spread hate. No, you did it because me and you been getting into it all the time. I don't support your lifestyle as a homosexual. You mad at me because I call you out on your actions because I didn't raise you up to be this way, and you are rebelling against me by doing this, even to the point that you beginning to be, because the mama say, more and more pro-gay about it, to the point where he's being more bold about it and confidence with it. He ain't doing it behind closed doors anymore. Now he want to be open with it. Okay, which makes the father even more verbal and taking his stance on how he's not gonna put up with it, which makes Tyler mad and angry. The father don't accept none of the Democratic views. The father is a Republican. Let me show you some more about this that we know this to be true. He also mentioned they were talking about Charlie Kirk coming to Utah before the shooting. And that's when he took it upon himself to say, I'm killing him. I'm going to get back at my father who likes him, who believes in his views, who against me as his son, not accepting my lifestyle. So I'm going to kill who he likes, who's actually the voice for Donald Trump, who my father is a diehard supporter of. And Charlie Kirk is the one who actually, according to Donald Trump and them two, may be responsible for him being in office because of all the people who he was opening their eyes to the truth of began to leave the Democratic Party and vote. So Donald Trump black votes went up, his Latino votes went up, votes up for the young people went up, it was a landslide against Kamala. Charlie Kirk was one of the ones responsible for that. And his father was a supporter of Charlie Kirk. Let's look at some more of this paper. See, these people want to lie. Let's go here. So this the roommate, his lover, but just for time's sake, because we 30 minutes in now, just for time's sake, I want to go down here. Now, let's talk about the rifle. Remember, we finding the motive. Why did he kill Charlie Kirk? He killed Charlie Kirk because of his feud with his father. More evidence of this. Watch this. So he's speaking about the rifle. Watch this. I'm wishing I had circled back and grabbed the rifle. Grabbed it. Hold on. Wait. Talking about the rifle. Okay. Hold on. Wait. Let me see. Okay, right here. So he talking about the rifle. Watch this. It said this. So in Rome may say, how long have you been planning this? This him confessing more again to the murder. He say, Robinson say, a bit over a week, I believe. See that? A bit over a week, I believe. When? When him and his father and them were talking about Charlie Kirk was coming before the shooting. When Charlie Kirk was coming to Utah. He had been planning it. Him and his father was getting into it. They had conversations, and Charlie Kirk ended up coming up in the middle of their conversation. Now, so he say, I've been planning this over a week. Watch this. I can get close to it, talking about the rifle, but there's a squad car parked right by it. I think they already swept that spot, but I don't want to chance it. Then Robinson going again. He said, I'm wishing I had circled back and grabbed it, the rifle, as soon as I got to my vehicle. I'm worried that my old man, watch this, I'm worried that my old man, his father, I'm worried what he would do if I didn't bring back Grandpa's rifle. See, do you see the relationship between him and his father as a result of his lifestyle? So there is a type of fear he have in his father, but also a disdain in his father by which he rebels and being a homosexual to actually spite his father. Watch this though. He said, I don't even know if it had a serial number, but it wouldn't trace to me. I worry about Prince. I had to leave. I'm worried about Prince. I had to leave it in the bush where I changed outfits. Didn't have the ability or time to bring it with. I might have to abandon it and hope they don't find Prince. How the F will I explain losing it to my old man? See, once again, he bring up his father. They already at odds with each other. They already have this friction. So there's a fear upon him on continuing to bring embarrassment and shame to his father and keep messing up. Watch this. Only thing I left was the rifle wrapped in a towel. Remember how I was engraving bullets? The effing messages are mostly a bit mean. If I see notices Bloods UWU on Fox News, I might have a stroke. All right, I'm going to have to leave it. That's really effing sucks. Hold on, watch this. Go on a little bit more. Watch this. Judging from today, I'd say Grandpa's gun does just fine. I don't know. I think that was a 2K scope. So now he's bragging about killing Charlie Kirk. Grandpa's gun did just fine. It got the job done. And that scope was right on point because it hit right on target. Right? Watch this, y'all. Then he tell his lover, delete delete this exchange. My dad wants photos of the rifle. Remember the pop was calling him on page 7 saying, hey, send me a picture of the rifle. Now here Tyler confirming that. He says grandpa wants to know who has what. In other words, do the feds got a fake gun or do you have my real gun? Then he said the feds released a photo of the rifle and it is very unique. So it's different that it stands out that they know, nah, that's our gun. Because it's not like other guns. He's calling me right now. Remember, we was showing the father was calling, but he not answering. Then Tyler said, I'm not answering. But he ends up saying this. Watch this, y'all. More proof. He killed Charlie Kirk because of him and his father's relationship. Since Trump got into office, my dad has been pretty diehard MAGA. See that? Since Trump got in office, my dad has been pretty diehard MAGA. So this right here also shows you the back and forth they have of him being a Democrat, his father being a conservative Republican that also is a supporter of Charlie Kirk, and him not accepting him as a homosexual. And they back and forth heated conversations that the mama confessed to, that the father talking about, that he took it upon himself because of his feud with his father, took it upon himself to murder Charlie Kirk, to get back at his father for not accepting him as a homosexual and for being a disgrace to him. That's what happened. So Tyler killed Charlie Kirk as a result of him and his father. That's the real truth. That's the truth. So, and when he made the statement saying to his father, well, I killed him because he was spreading hate. No, he don't want to tell his father that his father, no, you killed him because you knew I liked him. You killed him because you know that he's a Donald Trump supporter, just like me, because Charlie Kirk is a diehard Donald Trump supporter too. And Charlie Kirk is like a voice for Trump in the field. That he's the voice of Trump in the field. All he wears is Donald Trump outfits and MAGA hats and things like that. And Tyler Robinson's father likes Charlie Kirk and watches him a lot. By him being a diehard, you can't. How you gonna be a diehard Donald Trump fan and a Donald Trump supporter and you don't know who Charlie Kirk is? Nope, not at all. So with that being said, all these people sitting up here lying, this is the real truth in the paperwork. We see what was going on between Tyler and his father. They didn't get along. Tyler was rebelling, and he was getting worse and worse in his behavior, according to the mama, being more flamboyant and bold and arrogant in his homosexuality, flaunting himself around his father who despised his choices and decisions, bringing embarrassment to his name, legacy. And Tyler took it upon himself out of his hate for his father and murdered who his father liked to get back at his father. So he killed Charlie Kirk because of his father. That's the motive. Why everybody on this internet lying. Oh, Israel was up behind it because of money. Candace Owens had nothing to do with no damn money. Had everything to do with Tyler and his father's relationship. We clearly just seen in the documentation, not only them going back and forth with each other, but also speaking about Charlie Kirk previously before Charlie Kirk even arrived. Days, which is weak, that he just said to his roommate, I've been planning this for like a week. When him and his father was talking about it. And he saw how excited his father was about the situation, and he took it upon himself to kill him with his father in mind, because his father rejected his lifestyle, and the family also did. And that's rightfully so. No man is comfortable and happy and proud of his son being a transgender or a homosexual, sucking dick and getting fucked in the ass. No man is happy about that. No man is proud about that. When you know the end results of that, that's not good for you. And if you love your children, you're not supportive of that when you know that the living God will judge that. When the Bible is clear, no homosexual shall enter into the kingdom of heaven. Who cares what the world say? When you love your children and you honestly love them, your parenting don't stop because they're grown. In fact, your parenting is needed even more now because they didn't reach the age of accountability. Well, they must pay for their sins. And if they die in their sins, they go into eternal fire. So if you really love them, love is going to make you speak out. Love is going to make you disapprove. Love is going to make you actually rebuke, not accept. And they always got this thing where they be trying to say, oh, you need to be supportive of your children. No, your children need to be supportive of you first as a parent. You're rebelling against me. I didn't raise you up this way. I didn't teach you these things. In fact, you being raised under my roof knew that this wasn't right, knew that this was against God, knew it even when you was doing it when your spirit convicted you. We're not going to play these games. You don't comfortably do that without a spirit of conviction. Why you think they hide it? Why you think it's called behind in the closet? Why you think they keep it secrets? Because your spirit is convicting you. But just like Romans 1 say, the more and more you do it, the more dark and darker your hearts get, to the point that that spirit of conviction began to be dull and began to get silent, to the point that you now have crossed fully over to the dark side. You're bold. You're confident in the sin. No man likes that. No man wants to see their children go through that. No man honors that. Support you? What about support for me? Respect you? What about you respecting me? And that's not who you are. When people try to say, oh, this is who I am. That's not who you are. That's not who you are. I'm living my truth. No, you're living a lie. See, here's one thing nobody can change. God decides who you are when you come into this world. That's why you are already born with the private parts. The private parts tell who you are. You got a penis, you a male. You got a vagina, you a female. See, you don't make that choice. God made that choice for you because he's involved in your life. God is involved in your life. From the moment of conception, I was involved, period. I decide male or female. Nothing you do can change that. You just playing pretend at this point. You pretending to be a woman. You're pretending to be a man. He killed Charlie Kirk because his father didn't approve of it. And I'm pretty sure they had some heated arguments to the point of name calling, embarrassment, and threats. That's why he moved out and was in a relationship living with a transgender man at the age of 22. Because he couldn't stay under the roof of his father practicing and living that lifestyle. And he despised his father for that. And he killed who his father liked it. to get back at his father, because he know he couldn't get away with killing his father in the company of his family. Notice what it said. The family was against him being a homosexual. The family was against it. Because for the most part, they are Republicans. He the only one rebelling. He a Democrat. He support abortion. He support homosexuality. He support rebelling against God. That's what they party do. It's against God. It's against children. It's against the sacred, the sacredcy of family. And it made him hate his father, because he tried to force his father to accept something that God disapproved of. And he murdered Charlie Kirk, who represented it all, who represented God, who represented truth, who fought for unborn children, who fought for the sacredcy of marriage, who fought for the American people. And he felt he'll kill two birds with one stone. He'll murder Charlie Kirk and bring hurt and shame to his father in doing so. And that is the truth. That's the real truth that nobody could get around, because the paperwork confirms it. And it's your boy Battle Truth. Make my judgment ask some questions. It's yours. I'm bringing y'all more and more breakdowns, true breakdowns. True breakdown. Not none of these lies people doing to line up their pocket, lying to their supporters. They ain't even faithful to y'all. They're feeding y'all lies, knowing this lies, using their own intelligence. They ain't gonna go through this paperwork. They ain't gonna show this real documentations of the paperwork, but I challenge y'all to do so. Stop being followers and be leaders. Stop allowing people to deceive y'all. Look into the things y'all self. And as y'all can see, this had nothing to do with no conspiracy. His mama and them turned him in. His mama and them broke the case that the feds and them was still trying to find answers to. And if his mama and them never did it, he would have never been found and turned himself in.